Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 13 of the Battleship Brawl Season 4. This episode, we have the, the revenge of the return of the curse of whatever. The super long name, the Obdurateness, by Benjamin. The active combatant facing off against the...
Wapenstilstandsonderhandelingen.
Bioelner. Yeah, I just did that. Deal with it. The Obdurateness is on 2 losses right now, so if it loses this match, it will be eliminated. So it's fighting for its life again. Let's go ahead and get this underway and see how it goes. Immediately firing off a blast at the Wapen. Nice barrage of shells there. Not gonna land. Oh, I just noticed that the smiley face for the spawn stick. Got some shells coming in on the Wapen. Landing on the turret back there, that's doing some damage. That'll burn through the Wapen's materials. But the Obdurateness already down to 97%. Took some... I was about to say, where'd the game sound go? Oh, those rear turrets. There's where a lot of that damage is. The rear turrets have been badly damaged. Shells from the Wapen raining in, about striking into the stern. The stern of the Obdurateness. Obdurateness answering with a volley of its own, hitting the side of the Wapen, not doing a whole lot of damage. And the Wapen has an insane repair rate. It's actually out of materials already. Oh, that must have done more damage to the guns than I thought. Because it has already burned through all of its materials repairing that gun. Now means all of this damage that the Obdurateness is landing will stick, and if it can do enough to make the Wapen capsize, it has a chance of winning this. Oh, well, I mean, it will win this. It's kind of hard for the Wapen to win once it flops over. And that was a pretty lucky shot to get that gun damage in. I mean, the gun got repaired, but you ended up burning through the Wapen's ability to keep itself alive really quickly. Uh-oh. Oh, we're down to, like, one operational gun, one fully operational gun, and then one gun with maybe a barrel that functions. Yep, one barrel functions on that turret. Wapen is starting to roll. Oh, we might have a ram coming on as well. That's bad news for the Wapen. It does not want to ram, because if it gets too many of its compartments on the left side here flooded, it's going to have that capsizing issue. But another issue, the Obdurateness actually having it doesn't have many guns left. It's taken a lot of damage to its weaponry. Now they're kind of rubbing up against each other, which is bad for the game. This is how you crash the game. Well, looks like they're pulling apart. I don't know why the Obdurateness stopped aiming. I guess maybe it's aiming at a block on the back end of the ship and it just can't get the angle on it from there. It's got like 2 barrels left. Wow, speed boost via explosion. Right now, the Obdurateness is actually in the lead by HP. Not enough to actually claim the win right now, but it is winning. Oh, and it just lost that other barrel. So that's, the Obdurateness literally has a single barrel left on this main gun right here. That shell penetrated in there, went in right about there, I think. Yeah, you can see the Wapen is listing. Not, I mean, it's listing fairly heavily. Yeah, that's getting worrying, actually, how much that thing is listing. But it definitely has the weapon advantage right now. If it can either A, destroy this gun, or B, just stay non-capsized, you know, upright, long enough to put its superior armament to use. Ooh, that's close! Then the Wapen can pull a win out of this one. The Obdurateness is also listing a bit. It's losing buoyancy in the rear. They've got some distance between them now. I think both ships are going to turn towards their opponent at this point. And the match has been basically tied up hit point wise. Wapen just has that issue where if it takes too much damage on one side, it's going to capsize. It's like, on the one hand, that initial strike that knocked out... Oh! Right in the face of that turret. Went right... You see the hole right there. Went right in there. Knocked out the whole turret. But it's like, yeah, the Obdurateness got a lucky strike on... early strike on a turret that, you know, caused the Wapen to use all of its materials up in repairing. But, the Wapen's been doing a pretty good job in being pretty successful at taking out the Obdurateness's guns as well, so it's really hard to say how the next round will go. These two are actually rather evenly matched, though Obdurateness is it's barely afloat. If it takes if it were to take some damage up in the bow, it very well may sink. And at the same time, the listing of the Wapen is getting bad. It's getting real bad. It is not going to be able to take much more without capsizing. And once it does, it's basically lost. See all those fragments just blasting out from the Wapen shells. Though, at this angle, if it maintains this level of list, this is actually kind of good for it. Because it'll prevent holes from being made in the side where there's water and flooding these compartments, if they're not already flooded. I mean, if they are, then I guess it doesn't really matter. And it might actually cause some flooding on this side, which will help even things out and keep the Wapen from rolling. The Wapen is really, really, really dead set at hitting something on the rear end of the Obdurateness here. And that is not doing well for it because the shells keep skipping off the water and missing. This one lonely barrel on the Obdurateness just putting up a heck of a fight. Oh, that was a hit to the turret, but I think that barrel was already damaged. And it actually survived it, surprisingly. Oh, that was a hit straight to the side. That may have opened up another compartment or two to water. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. I don't think it did. I think that compartment was already flooded. blew open a compartment on this side, though it's above the water, so uh-oh. Wapen is really listing now. Maybe that did open up another compartment, I don't know. Stop shooting at the superstructure! Obdurateness! This is a mistake. It's as big a mistake as it is for the Wapen to be aiming at your stern. And collision. It's a little bump for the second time this round. Both the ships struggle to aim at each other at friggin' like the barrels of the Wapen are running into the Obdurateness as they turn. That's how close they are. Ooh, that was right into the side of the Wapen there, and I think that area where it just struck was not flooded before. That is bad, bad news for the Wapen. Oh, she's listing so hard. But the hit points are so close, I don't think, like, even if the Wapen were to just flop over right now, I don't think the Obdurateness can get a 5% lead before time runs out. There's only a minute and a half left in the round. I can't believe the Obdurateness is holding on this well when it's had one barrel for like 5 minutes of the battle. Uh-oh. Wapen is really listing. There's also the possibility of it getting a sinking disqualification if it goes down too far. Yep, I think she's going over, folks. I think the Wapen is capsizing. Oh, it's so close. Getting really, really deep in the water, too. Not doing well. Cannot aim anymore, but the Obdurateness is not going to be able to get a 5% lead in 30 seconds. So this first round is most likely going to be a draw, unless the Wapen, oof, right through the top of the turret there. I mean, okay, the Obdurateness could potentially like go in through the top of a turret and pop the whole cap off, and that may make up enough hit points. But no, I think that shell was the last one. That's going to be it. The round is over. It is 86.2% to 86%. That is not a 5% difference. Round 1 is a draw. That means we are definitely going to a round 3. But we'll see exactly what situation we end up with in round 3. Go ahead and get round 2 right underway. Obdurateness immediately opening up. Probably going to miss unless it aimed pretty forward on the ship. That might hit the stern. Yeah, a minor strike to the stern there. Minor, as a huge chunk of the ship disappears. But, you know, the Wapen will fix that in, you know, there it goes. It's fixed. It was fixed before the Wapen even, did anything. Oh, I should note that there wasn't a 0.2% difference, there was a 1.3% difference. Because the spawn stick counts. So the fleet was at, you know, and that's like 1.1% or something. But still, it's not 5%, so. Round 2, oh man, the Obdurateness is taking a heck of a beating. Oh, jeez, it's lost both of its frontal guns, one of its rear guns, and one of the barrels on the remaining rear cannon already. The Wapen is laying down the hurt this time. Did that just knock out the last gun? That just knocked out the last gun. The Obdurateness only has its secondaries left. And those are not... Like, I sincerely doubt those will even be able to burn through the Wapen's repair budget, let alone significantly damage it beyond that. Well, I mean, those actually look like they're pretty decent shells. They're just... Might be the same exact gun, just in a dual barrel format instead of a tri-barrel. I'm not sure. But they are, they're doing damage. But with only 2 barrels able to fire, I mean, okay. Only 2 barrels when last round I managed to fight to a draw when it only had 1. But, things are not going anywhere near as well this time for the Obdurateness. The Wapen is just zeroing in on those guns, just knocking them the heck out. This front turret is aiming, but I don't think any of the guns are actually functional. What are you aiming at? Oh, the ship is a lot closer than I thought it was. I did not realize that was happening. Did not realize they were about to ram. Oh, that might just pop the turret off there. Maybe. That shell got deep. That went in through here and penetrated like almost all the way to the other side of the ship. Oh, I think it was just going through the wood deck is why. For the most part. Now the ships are kind of rubbing up against each other. The Wapen's gun's not really able to get a good angle on its target. At least the rear ones aren't. Forward ones did get a shot off. Got some scraping. Slowing down my game. Now this secondary is getting a chance to show its stuff, but there's just not enough materials left for the Obdurateness to repair any of its main guns. And while the Wapen has materials to repair with, I do not think those 2 guns are going to be able to put up the fight that the single barrel managed in the first round. Wow, the Wapen has got some penetration on those shells. Oh, stern of the Obdurateness taking some hits there. Oh, that secondary gun just got blasted into oblivion. Obdurateness is turning to bring its other final gun to bear, though. And it may have just gotten hit itself. Yes, it did. The Obdurateness officially has no working weapons left. So the only hope it has is that the Wapen sails out of range and is disqualified. Otherwise, this round is going to go to the Wapen. So I'm going to go ahead and, fast forward it at this point. Oh, looks like we have an 80% sinking despawn starting for the Obdurateness. Yep. Oh! Did the despawn stop? The text went away. Doesn't matter because now it's 2 damaged. So round 2 is officially over. Technically, 6 seconds are left till it actually starts despawning, but there's no way it's coming back from that. And with it slowing down because of the collisions, I'm just going to go ahead and say that, yeah, round 2 is over with a victory for the Wapen. So we're going into round 3, and unlike most round 3s, the 5% rule will still apply here, because if this round draws out, the Wapen will have a 1-win, 2-draw record, while the Obdurateness will have a 1-lost, 2-draw record, which means the Wapen wins. So the oh, I just realized if the Obdurateness wins here, then we'll have a tie. Like, it'll be completely tied. It'll be 1 win, 1 draw. We'll have to go to round 4. Crap! Well, we'll see what happens. Once again, Obdurateness trying to get this follow camera thing to work. Doesn't seem to want to actually switch boats. That or I'm doing it wrong. That's entirely possible. Oh! I moved away just as the Obdurateness was getting hammered. Let's check the damage. Lost 1 gun. This front gun looks like the middle barrel is damaged. Doesn't seem to be aiming either, which is not good. It would really suck to have that little damage on the turret and have it be completely disabled. But it seems to be. It is not aiming. Let's check on the Wapen. It has used a lot of materials this time. So I think it may have taken a gun hit. There is some barrel damage on this gun back here. So those guns will eat up your materials quick. Like, you can't repair those very easily. Yes, in order to survive, the Obdurateness has to win this round and then win the next one. Otherwise, it will be eliminated from the tournament and retired. It's doing alright this time. It's keeping more of its guns alive for a little bit. Oh, I may have spoken too soon there. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's a shame that this front turret, like, it has a working barrel, but it's just not aiming. I wonder if the repair bots will manage to get it fixed. Probably not. They're not a big fan of repairing. Oh, 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 that poor rear turret. And the Obdurateness is down to a single barrel again on its main guns, plus its secondary. Man, the Wapen really does not like that rear turret. And here we go with another ram. The Wapen really likes ramming, apparently. Wow, I think it did more damage to itself with that ram than it did to the Obdurateness. That wooden bow slamming into the side of a metal-hulled ship did not go over well. Big surprise, right? Oh, did that secondary just put a shot right in the face of that turret? No, it hit the side, it hit the deck. Oh, that looked like it may have gone through the deck and into the turret. Oh, this rear turret has been popped off. Turret cap is gone. Can't see anything because both ships keep firing, and their smoke is overlapping and making it impossible to see. Oh, that turret. Yep, there it goes. The last main gun just got knocked out and popped off at that. Block confetti everywhere. The secondary is getting some shots in. The Wapen is almost out of materials, but I don't know. Whoop. Flash flood warning. The Wapen is running out of materials. Will not be able to repair a whole lot more. But it has an almost 8% lead in hit points. Oh, but that gun just got knocked out. That was like perfect timing to knock that gun out. It's not coming back. The Wapen's out of materials. It cannot fix it. So that's a little ray of hope for the Obdurateness. But it doesn't have the materials to fix any of its guns either. And having just a single secondary able to fire at a time is, you know, not the greatest. Obdurateness is trying hard. It's not giving up, but the odds are really stacked against him at this point. Because even being able to do enough damage to get a win is going to be difficult with only that secondary gun. Even if the Wapen just flopped over and stopped fighting right now, doing 15% damage is going to be very difficult, especially if that gun gets knocked out, which those shells got very close to it. How's the Wapen doing on listing? Let's check. Oh, yeah, it definitely has some listing going on, but it's not terrible. At least both of these ships are being, you know, being good and staying within bounds. Yeah, it's gonna take a miracle for the Obdurateness to not be eliminated after this round. Because it is not making headway, it's actually losing ground in the hit point race. Oh. Yep, you can tell those are secondaries because this turret just ate 2 cram shots. And, I mean, it lost some barrels, but otherwise, it's perfectly happy to continue. The Obdurateness is pretty low in the water as well. And it's also below 80%, so if it gets too far down, it'll get that 80% sinking in. Oh, the secondary gun has been destroyed. And with it, almost all hopes of the Obdurateness surviving this match. About the only thing that could happen at this point is if they were to ram and the Obdurateness sat on the Wapen and forced it to get a sinking disqualification. But I really don't see that happening. I think the Wapen would be the one to sink the Obdurateness in that case. Well, at least they aren't doing like a full-on side ram this time. The Wapen really just likes running into its opponent. Like, Wellner blamed its match against the Overlord, the ramming that happened to that one, on the Overlord, but I'm not so sure that's the case, man. The Obdurateness is clearly trying to turn away and flee, and your ship turned into it. And there she goes. That is it, folks. The Obdurateness is defeated. That is its third loss. So it has fallen, and it will be retired from the tournament. It was a good run, Benjamin, but just couldn't quite get there. Put up a heck of a fight in round 1 against the Wapen, but could not repeat that performance in round 2 and 3. So yeah, speaking of retirements, let's just go ahead and pause that. Speaking of retirements, the Overlord retired last week, exactly 1 week ago, and here are the results of the poll. It's 92.3% yes, 77.7% no for the Hall of Beauty voting, which means the HMS Overlord by Thompson will be inducted into the Hall of Beauty. And since it is also a champion, that means it has entered the Hall of Fame. Our very first ship of the tournament going into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Thompson for that one. And with that, no more responses are allowed, and I will open it up so that people can see this. It does, like, showing the individual doesn't do anything. So yeah. Thanks for watching, folks. Go ahead, check down in the description for the Hall of Beauty votes for the ships that were featured in this battle. You can also check out my Discord, my Patreon, the forum post, all that good stuff. You know, it's down there in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the battlefield.